What do you get when you mix Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, MAGA politics, and a man with a microphone who couldn't resist saying the quiet part out loud? You get Charlie Kirk before his assassination going on a rant about America's pop princess. And folks, this one wasn't just hot tea. It was piping lava poured all over Swifties, football fans, and basically anyone who thinks women shouldn't be given marriage advice by a 31-year-old political firebrand. But here's where it gets wild. This bizarre rant happened just weeks before Kirk was shot dead at Utah Valley University. So today, we're breaking down 10 insane facts about Charlie Kirk's takedown of Taylor Swift, why he dragged Travis Kelce into the crossfire, and how this strange pop culture meets politics saga now feels like a prologue to his shocking death. So grab your cat, your football jersey, and maybe a helmet, because this story's gonna hit harder than a Chiefs linebacker. Charlie Kirk didn't congratulate Taylor Travis. Most people, when two celebrities get engaged, say something like, "Congrats, love wins, cute ring." Not Charlie. Nope. His opening move was basically, "Taylor, drop feminism and submit to your husband." Yeah, that was his vibe. Forget champagne toasts, he came with a lecture on gender roles. Bold strategy, Cotton. But if you thought that was cringe, wait until you hear what he said next. He called Taylor a cat lady. Kirk joked that Taylor Swift could go from a cat lady to a JD Vance supporter after marrying Travis. Cat lady, as if the woman who has sold out stadiums, broken streaming records, and boosted the economy with the Eras Tour is somehow one feline away from knitting sweaters in a rocking chair. It was less political analysis and more bargain bin stand-up comedy. And then he doubled down with a joke so weird it could only come from Charlie Kirk. He said Taylor should have more kids than houses. Yes, really, he said it. The takeaway? Forget feminism, forget independence. Taylor should focus on baby production. This wasn't advice. It was like a parody of advice. Imagine looking at Taylor Swift, who owns multiple homes, billions in revenue, and has Times Person of the Year title, and saying, "Sweetie, start counting diapers, not real estate." Yeah, that went over about as well as Nickelback at Coachella. But let's pause, because this wasn't just about Taylor Swift. It was about politics, and oh boy, did that angle explode. Taylor Swift was already MAGA enemy. One, remember, Taylor endorsed Kamala Harris in 2024, calling her a steady-handed, gifted leader. That post alone sent MAGA world into meltdown mode. Combine that with Kirk's rant, and you've got the perfect recipe for right-wing rage. Taylor isn't just a pop star anymore, she's a political influencer, whether she wanted the role or not. And speaking of MAGA meltdowns, let's talk JD Vance. JD Vance lit the fuse with his cat lady. Comment long before Kirk grabbed the mic, JD Vance, Trump's running mate and now vice president, mocked Democrats as childless cat ladies with miserable lives. It was offensive, sure, but also catchy enough to turn into a soundbite. Celebs like Jennifer Aniston clapped back, outrage followed, and Vance eventually tried the classic "I was being sarcastic" defense. Spoiler, no one bought it. But Charlie Kirk, he ran with it like a wide receiver on a broken play. The rant came weeks before his assassination. This is where things turned dark. Kirk's comments about Taylor and feminism weren't just hot takes on a podcast. They were part of his larger pattern of incendiary rhetoric. And weeks later at Utah Valley University, he was gunned down in what officials are calling a political assassination. Suddenly, the rants don't just look bizarre, they look like the closing chapters of a man whose words often blurred into controversy. And as if that wasn't enough, Trump reacted with fury and grief. After Kirk's death, Trump declared it a dark moment for America. He praised Kirk as someone who traveled the nation, engaging with young people and pushing conservative politics. Which means that while Swifties may have rolled their eyes at the rant, MAGA world framed Kirk's death as martyrdom. Taylor Swift? She's somewhere rehearsing Love Story. MAGA? They're building shrines. But let's not lose sight of what this whole saga says about us. Pop culture and politics are officially married. Think about it. Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, J.D. Vance, and Charlie Kirk are now in the same story. This isn't just culture war, it's culture mashup. It's like the Avengers of polarization, except instead of saving the world, they're roasting each other with soundbite. When politics starts crossing into NFL engagement parties, you know the boundaries between entertainment and ideology are gone. And here's the kicker, Taylor Swift never responded. That's right, despite being called out, insulted, and shoved into America's loudest political debate, Taylor Swift didn't clap back. No cryptic Instagram post, no midnight lyric drop, no Travis Kelce TikTok duet. Silence, which, in a way, is the most powerful response of all. Sometimes ignoring the noise is louder than screaming back. But while Taylor stayed quiet, America didn't. Kirk's legacy is now tied to Taylor Swift. Here's the irony. In trying to drag Taylor Swift into MAGA politics, Kirk permanently tied his own name to hers. His rant will be remembered not just for its absurdity, but for how it now sits next to the story of his assassination. Swift's legacy, pop megastar, cultural icon, political force. Kirk's, firebrand activist who picked fights with pop stars, and whose words and death both shocked the nation. So there you have it. 10 insane facts about Charlie Kirk's rant against Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, and feminism, all set against the backdrop of his sudden tragic assassination. Now it's your turn. Do you think Kirk's rants made him more influential, or did they just expose how ridiculous political culture wars have become? Drop your thoughts in the comment. And if you stayed with me this far, smash that like button, subscribe for more deep dive storytelling, and share this video with someone who still thinks pop culture and politics exist in separate universes. Because if Taylor Swift and Charlie Kirk can end up in the same headline, trust me, nothing is off limits anymore.